I'm sorry. Hi everyone, it's me. And today, let's go fast, let's get furious. Together, let's go.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Excuse me, what?
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
I'm sorry, I really can't understand what you're trying to say.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Maybe try clearing your throat? Perhaps a lozenge?
Sorry, old chap, I had a bit of a tickle in my throat. I said...
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Yeah, might want to take this back. Just doesn't work the same way without it. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory!
Oh my god, The Rock!
A show that would live its life a quarter theory at a time, but that would make for some really disappointing videos.
Alright, so, hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory! Hello!
In 2001, the world was introduced to a little movie that could, named The Fast and the Furious. At
2 decades ago.
the time, it was just this unassuming tale of an undercover cop trying to bust a ring of DVD thieves. Nothing all too special, right? But it thrilled audiences enough with its fast racing, furious fighting, and love of Corona beer.
You can have any brew you want, as long as it's a Corona.
That
Yeah, it did not age well. There's the global pandemic, coronavirus.
now, here we are. 20 years, 9 films, and $6 billion later with cars being launched into outer space. As you can tell, the Fast and Furious franchise has left behind its street racing roots and is now more focused on saving the world from viruses that eat people from the inside out. And that's not a joke, that is literally the plot of Hobbs and Shaw. Space? Viruses? I mean, where do you even go from here for the inevitable 10th movie? It's gotta be Dom and the crew driving Optimus Prime. And thoughts like that make me legitimately excited for Fast 10, which, can I just get real with you, if they don't name that movie Fast 10 Your Seatbelts, they have passed on literal gold. Now,
Oh, I get it. Fasten your seatbelts. Because things are gonna get wow.
obviously with more success comes bigger budgets, more explosions, and more spectacle meant to one-up the prior film. What
I agree with you, this is a billion-dollar franchise.
started as a small-scale story about a crew of thieves being defeated by a determined truck driver and his shoddy has become a globe-trotting action fest that features exploding nuclear submarines, parachuting cars, and Transformer-esque motorcycles where, in the latest movie, the characters themselves are asking whether they're invincible superheroes. Basically, the first film, the characters lived their life a quarter mile at a time.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Nowadays, the characters are battling bionic super soldiers. Life comes at you fast. But today, my question's simple. Which Fast and Furious movie is the fastest, and which one is the most furious? There's no question that these movies come with a formula. Close-up on shifting gears, panning shots over engines revving, testosterone-fueled fistfights, and as many gratuitous shots of female partiers that they can get away with without being canceled on Twitter.
Winner gets me.
Okay, this is going to be very awkward. Let's keep this positive, wholesome, family friendly. Thank you, my pet.
It is almost contractually mandated at this point for each script to contain no less than 10 drops of the word NOS.
I need NOS. I need NOS.
But what I want to learn today is whether it's better for these movies to be fast or furious. Is the Fast franchise better off for leaving behind the car-centered plot lines and focusing more on saving the world, or does leaning into the furious fights yield bigger box office takeaways? Well, we looked at all the data and the results weren't what we expected. Who knows, maybe these movies do have something to teach us after all.
Thank you so much. I love this kind of nerdy stats and results. 76.
I regret everything I just said. First, let's talk about which film is just the most Fast and Furious. To calculate this, we put together 23 categories that define the franchise. Things like number of speedometer shots, number of explosions, time spent watching close-ups of male biceps, number of Coronas consumed, number of manly hugs, amount of gear shifting, number of times a character drops the word family, crew, or team, amount of time spent revving engines, number of NOS usages, total racing time, and of course, whether or not there's a barbecue. We ranked each of the 9 movies movies, up through Hobbs and Shaw, not the newest one, from 1 to 9, with the movie in the number 1 spot having the most of each instance, and 9 with the fewest. Fast and Furious 6, for instance, has 22 mentions of family and team, most in the franchise, so it got 1 point in the category. Too Fast, Too Furious only has 1 mention of team, putting it at the bottom and giving it 9 points. In binary categories like, is there a BBQ? A yes gets you a 0. Lowest overall score wins. And after tallying it all up, in a bit of an upset, Fast and Furious 6 beats out fan and critical favorites Fast 5 and Furious 7 to be crowned as the most Fast and Furious. Why? Well, it's kind of the perfect middle point of the franchise. It, more than any other movie, balances the old school elements like racing and Corona-filled barbecues with newer elements like huge explosions and global stakes.
Street kid. Starts out stealing DVD players in East LA, ends up heisting $100 million in Rio.
Not bad, huh?
Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that this movie is the best, it just means that this uses the most tropes of what makes this franchise what it is. But being the curious nerd that I am, I wanted to break it down further by looking at which of the films is the fastest and which one is the most furious. By separating the two, I can see if it's better to be fast or furious, which, gotta be honest, makes my little nerd brain super happy. Once I have those numbers, I can mix in box office, fan reviews, and critical reception, crunch the numbers, and see if there's anything that statistics can teach us about this franchise.
Crunch the numbers.
But I know your taste in cars. What about your women?
20% angel, 80% devil.
See? I'm not the only one who loves data. Let's...
Oh, well, those are numbers. Oh. Okay, I guess.
Start off by figuring out which of the Fast films is the fastest. As far as fastest individual scene, that honor is obviously going to F9, which features a rocket car. But since that one isn't in contention yet, our runner-up is Furious 6. The runway scene at the end of the film features a whopping 13-minute chase involving very fast cars going on average around 120 miles per hour, or 193 kilometers an hour, as they race down an airplane runway trying to prevent the plane from taking off. No other film in the franchise features cars going so fast for so long. By the way, since we're talking about numbers here, considering how fast the cars are going for how long, that runway would have to be roughly 26 miles long.
Wow!
32 kilometers, or, to put it in Dom's terms, 104 quarter-mile races. It's ironic, too, since a typical airplane runway is 1.5 miles, or 2.4 kilometers. Much closer to Dom's preferred length of racing. True to its name, Too Fast, Too Furious comes in at number 2 with its opening race. And in third, we have the ice chase from the Fate of the Furious, only slowed down by the laws of friction. Damn you, physics! Here's the rest of the top list. But like I said, that's only talking about individual scenes. We're interested in the fastest overall. To measure this, I'm looking at a few key criteria. First, which Fast film features the most racing, engine revving, NOS usages, speedometer shots, racing, and car-related talk. And second, which Fast film features cars going the fastest for the longest. Throw in the number of quarter-mile races, time spent at or near a car workshop, and time spent riding outside of the vehicle, and you've got yourself one fast movie. Tallying up all the scores, our fastest film is Too Fast, Too Furious, followed closely by the third movie, Tokyo Drift, then the fourth, and finally the original. Here's the complete rankings on screen, but you'll notice that the first 4 films also make up the top 4 slots here. And not only are they fast, but they are significantly faster. The first 4 films in total feature over 41 minutes of racing, and an additional 40 minutes of talking about racing.
A case in point, these videos are very classic, but I use the word classic as in they are old videos.
Next 5 only feature a little over 5 minutes of actual racing and around 10 minutes of talking about racing. Consider this, Tokyo Drift features almost 3 times more racing than Fast 5 through 8 and Hobbs and Shaw combined. 15 minutes and 10 seconds versus a total of 5 minutes across 5 movies. For a franchise that has fast in the name and was built on car chases and races, the series has decidedly slowed down. And that's not all. The other interesting trend in all this is that the first 4 movies all have tomato meter scores that are rotten, which immediately changes at Fast 5, where the racing takes a, wait for it, a back seat. I hate myself. I am so sorry. Honestly,
I just love Dad Pat's puns. Get it? That part.
It's not even close. The average approval ranking of the first 4 movies is 39%. It's an average of 72% for the other 5. Those first 4 also happen to be the lowest grossing. Adjusting for inflation, the first 4 rake in $722 million in the US. The next 5 double it at $1.3 billion. And worldwide, the difference is even more clear. 1 through 4, $1.4 billion. 5 through Hobbs and Shaw, $5.3 billion.
Literally billion-dollar franchise.
That is $1 billion per movie as opposed to $250 million per. Now, to be fair, those earlier movies came first, so they were paving the way for the future blockbusters, but still, it is very clear that as fastness went down, ratings and box office earnings went up. Instead of F9's subtitle being The Fast Saga, maybe a better name for it would have been The Furious Saga. But to truly know for sure, we have to look at the other half of this equation and the other half of the franchise title, at least when they feel like including it. Which movie is the most furious? So how do you measure fury? Well, we're looking for the film that features the most death, destruction, and fistfights.
Oh my god, you get it. That is Nick Fury from Marvel Universe. Nick Fury.
In the original Fast and Furious, sorry, that's the name of the fourth
sorry.
installment. I mean, in the original The Fast and The Furious, we see Dom, Brian, and Letty beating people up, Jesse getting killed, Johnny Tran also getting killed, and various 10-second cars getting blown to smithereens. But the carnage, get it? Carnage? Ugh, I think this episode has lowered my IQ down to the level of the movies. Anyway, the carnage of that first film feels like kiddie stuff compared to more recent movies like The Fate of the Furious and Hobbs and Shaw, which both destroy billions of dollars of property and have no problem killing people off by the dozens.
Yep, there's a lot of cars. A lot of cars.
When running the numbers, it's immediately clear that the spin-off Hobbs and Shaw features the most fistfights, as they beat people up all over the world and dispatch henchmen like they're cardboard cutouts. 14.5 minutes are dedicated to face punching, which is more than triple the amount of the first 4 films. But as far as how they stack up, here's how the numbers play out. First is Hobbs and Shaw with that 14.5 minutes of fighting, followed closely by, actually I can't even say that, no other movie even touches that one. Furious 7 is in a distant second place with almost exactly half the amount of fighting, just 7 minutes 16 seconds. On the other end of the spectrum is Tokyo Drift with just 49 seconds total spent fighting. Tokyo Drift, truly the thinking man's Fast and Furious film.
You know that real famous painting? The one of the woman who's smiling all the time?
The Mona Lisa.
Right, Mona Lisa.
Like I said, the big-brained one. What's interesting about all this is that yet again, the first 4 movies all rank together, this time in the bottom half. Also, the 4 highest grossing Fast movies are in the top 4. So more face punching equals more money, and less car talk also equals more money. Again, an interesting trend for a franchise that is branded around racing and car talk. That said, fights don't fully define being furious. If you add in main character deaths, double crosses, and number of kills, the rankings shift a bit to make number 7 the most furious movie. You have Deckard killing dozens of cops then wanting angry revenge, Dom wanting revenge for the deaths of Giselle and Han, 7 minutes and 16 seconds of fighting and the knockdown drag-out fights between Hobbs and Shaw, Dom and Shaw, and Letty and Kara, where contractually no one's allowed to lose. Also, Dom and Deckard are so furious at each other that they drive their incredibly expensive vehicles headfirst into each other. Yeah, no airbags, no death from a high-speed head-on collision. I need to do an episode just dedicated to moments like this. And
Case in point, they are the main protagonists, they are the main heroes. It's quite hard to... Well, having said that, I recognize that the song about it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where it began, or I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Anyway, what's particularly fitting about the 7th movie being most furious is that its title is also the one that doesn't have the word fast in it. Furious 7 is indeed the most furious, and it's the highest grossing of all the Fast films with the mind-blowing $1.5 billion worldwide, whereas Tokyo Drift, the film with the least amount of face punching, has the lowest worldwide box office haul of just under $159 million. All of it proves the point. People want anger and violence, not car races. The car races are apparently the boring part. parts that no one wants to see. You know, that conclusion kind of makes me wonder about the weird naming of this franchise. You know how some are Furious, some are Fast and Furious, and now it's just the Fast Saga? Could it be the movie studio pulling like some next level strategy with us? Them carefully A/B testing each new movie's title to see what gets the butts into the theaters, using the data to craft this series and the title in such a way that it's geared towards how audiences most want to consume it? Are these actually smart films?
Are you one of those boys who prefers cars to women?
I'm one of those boys that appreciates a fine body regardless of the make.
Nope, never mind. Speaking of smarts though, let's say, and this is totally a hypothetical, that you're a member of a notorious street racing gang turned CIA adjacent operative team, and you need to learn some things quick, like, I don't know, aerospace travel on a budget, or Magnets 101. Lucky for you, today's sponsor, Skillshare, might just have you covered. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. Skillshare has tons of classes on a number of topics, from illustration and graphic design to creative writing and web development, and honestly everything in between. Plus, with classes for every skill level, there's something truly for everyone, even if you happen to be a thick-necked, gravelly-voiced auto mechanic with corona for brains. One class that I highly recommend is YouTube Success, Script, Shoot, and Edit, taught by the man himself and my good friend, Marquez Brownlee. There's just something really special about learning real skills taught by real people who've had real experience in their industry.
Correct. MKBHD. Awesome.
Plus, as a fellow creator, it's so cool to get a peek behind other people's creative processes. There is literally always something new to learn, and getting a fresh perspective is exactly what I need when I feel stuck or need a source of inspiration. And the best part of all, there's no ads. Skillshare genuinely cares about creating an environment conducive to learning, which means no interruptions, just pure, unadulterated edutainment. Skillshare has also been nice enough to give us a special offer to give back to you, the Theorist community. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description below will get themselves a 1-month free trial of unlimited learning. So visit the link in the description, get started today, and honestly start building a new hobby or start training for a new skill that'll help you out there in the real professional world. You owe it to yourself to give that 1-month free trial a shot. So thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video, and thank you for watching, and as always remember, it's all just a theory. A film theory. And cut.
Well, thank you all so much for watching this video together with me. I really find this video very interesting and just quite unique to watch, isn't it? Anyways, if you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have any of us. Don't forget to follow my channel, and still appreciate all of the support and encouragement for my work. Thank you all so much, you're the best, and I hope to see you all in my next video. It's very motivating and encouraging to see all the positivity and wholesomeness in my comment section. Yeah, but hey, that's just a theory. A film theory! And cut! Thank you. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye bye. Thank you. It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from wherever it began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Wow, wow, wow. I'm sorry. Subscribe. Thank you.